This morning, we are right smack dab in the middle of tax season. In fact, starting January 20th, you can go ahead and start filing your taxes, and there's a pretty important reason why you might want to go ahead and do that early. Joining me to talk more about that is Scott Maxwell from Scott Maxwell Financial. Good morning.
Hello, Lisanne. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you too. And you know, you think taxes, you think, okay, I've got to do this. Well, there's an issue of identity theft that is very easily done.
Yes, indeed. Matter of fact, last year, the IRS reported that $5 billion worth of fraudulent tax returns were filed, where the IRS actually sent out refunds to the bad guys.
Oh, my gosh.
And, in fact, folks don't realize that if somebody has your Social Security number and your name, they can file a fraudulent claim. And then when you go ahead and file your claim, it can take a while to sort it out by the IRS.
Yeah, because they've got to figure out who's who at that point. So what can we do to protect ourselves?
Well, I think there's really three key things. The first off is to file early. As you said, starting January 20th, folks can file earlier, and the soonest we get that filing in, the better chance we have of beating the bad guys to the punch. Second is file electronically. When we file electronically, then our return is going to go directly to the IRS, and it's going to not be delayed, and therefore, again, the process will be speeded up, and we'll have a much better chance of avoiding any problems.
Right.
And then the third is protect your personal information. As I said, the bad guys want to get your personal information so they can do bad things with it. And so the IRS is never going to call you and ask for your Social Security number or ask for details. So make sure that you do not give any information out over the telephone. And if you are contacted, then on my website at rscottmaxwell.com, I've got information where you can report a fraudulent conversation to the IRS.
Okay.
And then obviously, if you are going to send in your tax return, make sure you take it right to the post office.
Right.
So that it's not sitting in an unlocked mailbox.
Just sitting out there on the side of the street,
right.
Yeah. Well, and so if you do become a victim of a tax ID theft, I'm sure there's paperwork and hoops you have to jump through.
Yeah, the very first thing you want to do is keep good records. If somebody is taking advantage of you, make sure that you document when you were contacted, what they asked you, all those details. And then on my website, we have another link that you can report that information to local law enforcement. You might even want to report it to the local credit bureaus to make sure that your personal information stays personal.
That's a good idea. So we're hearing all kinds of different things about tax season this year. Returns could be delayed. Sounds like it could be an interesting tax season.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it? With all the added complications of the Affordable Care Act, the IRS's budget was cut. And so they're saying that folks might have trouble actually getting hold of anyone, and refunds might be delayed because they've cut back on overtime and they've cut back on staffing.
Yeah, so you need to go ahead and get things done as quickly as you can. So
yes,
let's say we're fortunate enough to get a refund. Whether it's $5 or $500, what's the best thing to do with that money?
Plan ahead. One of the things I tell clients all the time is quite often a tax refund is going to be one of your largest checks you receive. So if you have a good place to put that money in advance, like paying down debt, setting up an emergency fund, or saving for the long term, it'll make it much easier to put that money to good use rather than just spending it and then being frustrated because you don't have anything more to show for that refund.
Well, I tell you what, give them your website one more time.
rscottmaxwell.com.
All right, he's got a lot of links on there that can help you out this tax season, especially when it comes to saving you some money. Scott, we appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
We'll get all this on our website, KTEN.com. We'll be right back.